Am I in love? Well, yeah. No. Well, kind of. I mean, almost. I don't know. Yes. I don't, you know what? I do. I love him. I do. I don't really know. Have you ever felt that way? Are you in love? Well, guess what? I'm going to help you find out for sure if you're in love right now. Welcome to the Best Years Podcast. This is Dr. Darlene speaking to Generation X and baby boomers who want more. I'll share power, skills, and tools with you to get your mojo back and love your life. Oh, it's the L word. The 4-letter L word. What the heck? Have you ever noticed when you ask someone and say, well, so you've been dating a while, are you in love? And they go, yeah. And they squint their eyes, or they go, well, kind of, and they tip their head back and forth, or no, and they smile, and you're like, really? And they don't know how to answer the question if they're in love, because what is it? What is love? Well, Webster says it's an intense feeling of deep affection. Okay, well, what does that mean? Now, I've got so much to say on this one. Today, we're going to focus on, are you in love with that person? I'm going to help you know how to know whether you are or not. We can go into all these definitions, but basically, this is why you don't know if you're in love with that person. And write this down because this is so cool. The problem is, you don't know if you're in love because you're not one piece. You're a lot of pieces. You have a head that's logical. You have a heart that feels, that doesn't always agree with the head. You've got a body that is attracted or not attracted, which doesn't always correlate with the logic of the head or the heart flipping or the not flipping. And then you have a spirit. So we're going to go over all these. And then you have a gut. And those all are not y'all talking to each other. And they're not agreeing with one another. And so that's why you can't come up with one answer of whether you're in love or not. Now, the definition of love is an interesting thing. And I will do another podcast on all the definitions and what it is so you really define and understand love. But for now, let's just say you really care about the person and you really like being with them and you have this kind of romantic feeling, but you're not sure if it's just an external lust or is it real super love. So what you do is I want you to write down, or in your head, I want you to think about 1 to 10 and you're going to answer my questions. I've got 5 categories, and once you answer my question, by the end of this podcast, you're going to know if you're in love with this person or not. And what kind of love it is. So, first category, again, as I go over this again, is with your head, 1 to 10, how much do you love him or her? So I want you to think of the person you love. And you think about loving them. Kinda. Well, not really. Yes. Tons. No, not sure. So with your head, 1 to 10, how much do you love this person? Logically, no heart feelings yet. Put that over there. No, all that sexual stuff. Put that over there. 1 to 10 with your head. Logically, it makes sense. He wants kids. I don't. We do. We want a house. She or he wants this. We're logically quite a fit. Or it doesn't make any logical sense to be together. So 1 to 10, write that down. Okay. Next one. Your heart. How much do you love your person with your heart? Now, no logic, not thinking about logic and how much it makes sense. Just the heart, the feeling where you really care how they feel. I really care how they feel and I care how I feel. And when I'm with them, my heart kind of swells. It makes my boobs go out. It makes my ribs expand. It makes my stomach push up and down. It lifts, and it's not that bouncy chemistry thing. I'm not talking about that. It's the swelling. You know, when you love your baby, your heart swells. So it's the swelling thing. It's the caring how they feel. It's not logical right now, and it's not chemistry right now. So 1 to 10. Yeah. Do you love it? Next one is the body. Okay. The body. I have to give an example here. the body's the chemistry. So let's ask Tiffany, how much do you love Alex? And she says, oh, on a scale from 1 to 10, my body's like a 200. Oh my gosh. Like seriously, when he comes near me, I die. I just melt. But with my head, I only love him like a 1 because he's in prison, you know, and he did bad things. He like hurt kitties and stuff. So we have a little conflict where the body's 200 and the head's just 2 or 1, and that's a little conflict, isn't it now? So as you think about the body, don't think about the head right now. And I have one more example as we pause on this. Then there's Susie Q, she thinks she's in love with Tommy, and logically it's a 20, like 1 to 10. It's like, oh my gosh, we like love everything the same. We both love books. We both love to do everything together. We like to paint. We just like to talk about the sunset. And so I'm like a 10 with my head or more. Now the body, I'm like only like a 4 because he kind of stinks and he kind of like has sweaty hands, but you know, we don't fit. But yeah. So do I love Tommy? I don't know. Well, with your head, you love him, but you don't love him with your body. So see where we're going with this? So go ahead and 1 to 10 with the body. The next one, as you're opening your eyes about whether you're in love or not, is the spirit. This one's really cool. What would happen if you just had a phone relationship and you never got to see the person? How much do you love their spirit where you connect? And I say, if you had no body and you took your body off and you didn't have a body, you're just a spirit floating around, flying around, or vibrating, whatever, and you were with your other person, how much do you love that person with your spirit, where your spirits are in the same direction, the same movement, the same resonance? 1 to 10. How much do you love that person with the spirit? Your souls connecting, regardless of your body, of logic, of your heart. 1 to 10. Then the last one is sometimes easy to understand and sometimes it's not for people. It's the gut feeling. Your gut feeling is just a summary of all these human feelings. It's not like a spiritual sense so much. It's more like a human feeling of my gut. Summary is, I really, really love, or I'm falling in love, or being in love, or I'm close to this person. It feels right. It feels good. Or, you know, the body's like a 10. Logically, it's pretty high, but I just have this gut feeling. It kind of makes me sick. It's a no. I'm getting a no on that one. So I'm going to put a 3 or 4. Or backwards, like, I don't know, it's not making tons of logical sense right now. My heart's growing. My spirit that's really growing together. The body's great. And I just have this gut feeling it's an absolute yes. I just feel like it really is for us to be together. So look at your assessment. And now let me ask you, are you in love with this person? If you have one area that's low, that will drop everything else. You can very clearly see if you have a romantic, lustful relationship. You can very clearly see, on the other hand, if you have a spiritual relationship and not physical. My recommendation, but who am I, is that you have 8 to 10 in all categories before you commit to a lifetime, long-term relationship or marriage. Now, what happens if you're a 10 on all of these and your partner or your person gets hurt and they're in a wheelchair? Well, do we stay married because they're in a wheelchair and I was a 10 with the body and now they're in a wheelchair? There are times when you shift into the stages of marriage, which I'm going to go over very quickly right now, where you start out with romance and you're noticing your head, heart, body, gut, and spirit. And it grows bigger and bigger and becomes so solid. This just almost makes me cry because it becomes so solid that my heart loves you. And I love your little weird mole on your leg or your foot or your face. And I will love you in a wheelchair because everything else is so strong. And my body's love for you isn't just sexual anymore because it's grown into something deeper. It's a feeling of caring so much how you feel, and I love you. So as you grow in these stages, you're going to start out with number 1 is romance. The second stage is the awakening. So we're going to kind of step back and kind of go back over these stages. The awakening is, oh my heck, they're not perfect. Then after years, you go into the control. Mild suggestions, you start building up walls and want to control them. The next stage is where these emotions that I'm feeling come, where you come into acceptance. You accept the differences of each other. You build on your strengths. You build your foundation. I love you. And the last stage, sometimes can happen quickly, but sometimes it won't happen until all of the kids are out of the nest and you come back to this place where you really have grown together for 40 years and it's pure love, charity, a spiritual connection. The vibrations between you, mind, body, and spirit, are so connected. I am me with you. I am better because of you. I can be who I am because you lived and I witness your life. So, with a lump in my throat, I know who I love. I know I love my man. I know I love my children. And it's not let me tell you something right here, is that love is the same from a spouse to a husband, to a wife, a child, to a dog. The love is the same, but the body responds differently. Now think about that one. I still have a spiritual connection with my dog. My heart swells. My head is into it. But my body is different because obviously it's just a snuggle, pet, my dog kind of body relationship. So as you discover what kind of assessment you can give head, heart, body, gut with the one you're looking at and how much you love them, you can do this with your animals as well. And you have this swelling in your heart for this person or animal. You will know, are you in love? Yes. And I want you to know that I love you, and my assessment is a 10 with all of them because my heart loves you, my head loves you, my body wants to shake your hand and give you a hug, my spirit loves you, and my gut feeling is you're a beautiful, wonderful person. Have fun loving today. It's a beautiful week to be in love. Talk soon. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to my channel so we can hang out. Also go to www.whatstopsyou.com for notes to this podcast and learn more power skills to indeed live the best years of your life.